Hi, I'm Jen from Back Off My Books, and I have Daisy Prescott here with me. She's agreed to let me interview her yet again. Hi, Daisy.
Hi, Jennifer.
We're going to be talking about your latest to-be-released book, Confessions of a Reformed Tom Cat, coming out Monday the 23rd, and probably by the time this video posts, it will have been out a couple days. And thank you. I got to read it early, and I loved it. I loved Tom's voice, and Haley. She was an amazing character. So I want to kind of ask you a few things about them. And then I had some other people ask some questions they would like answered. So, okay.
I'm glad you enjoyed Tom.
I did. He was a fun character to read.
Good. Everybody hated him in Ready to Fall. And so I needed to redeem him.
And you did a very good job because from the beginning, you just fall in love with him.
Oh, good.
You just really like his character. Now, were you kind of hesitant or were you excited to write his story? Because like you said, people weren't really happy with him.
I had a lot of people really want his story from the beginning, I think, because he's such a man whore. And, you know, what woman doesn't love to, like, read the story of a man's downfall into love? But I was hesitant because I really didn't like him. You know, he really is the typical bachelor guy who sleeps around and doesn't want a girlfriend, and he's honest. He's not, you know, leading women on, and so it took me a while to figure out how to reform him. And the first thing I did was his backstory, and once I gave him a big family, I knew that was the way that I was going to save Tom.
And I, you know, I love that. I love his commitment to his family. He was, you know. And I just remember reading over a part about him talking about family being a big part for him, and there's pops, and even people who, you know, we have John, but who aren't family, who are like family to him. They, you know, he won't commit to a woman, but he is so committed to his friends and family that it's hard not to love him for that.
Yeah. He's definitely incredibly loyal.
Yes.
And he's also kind of, you know, he grew up on the island. He's from an island family. He works on the island for a family company. And he's a little bit stuck. You know, that's his thing. He's kind of been the same guy since high school, and he's early 30s now. So, you know, another couple of years, he'd be one of those, you know, gross guys, you know, who sits at the end of the bar and picks up the women who are way too young for him. So I knew we needed to save him and save him quick. So
and you did a good job.
Thank you.
Now, from the book, without any like major spoilers, what would you say is your favorite scene that you wrote for him?
Oh, there's some good ones.
I
love Halloween. Halloween was one of those scenes that popped into my head really early on when I was thinking about him. So that was fun to write. It has a couple like bits of dialogue that are my favorite pieces of dialogue, and I love the setting, which is the Rod and Gun Club, which is based on an actual Rod and Gun Club with a real walrus above the popcorn machine. So that I did not make up. That there is a there are a couple nudity scenes that are really funny with Tom. So I enjoyed writing those. Yeah.
Yeah, when I was thinking about it, I saw there are so many. There's the party with Ashley.
The party with Ashley.
That really stands out. That and I loved his reaction to it. I'm like, yeah, yes, Tom.
Right, because you really think he could go either way at that party. You know, like, here's his big opportunity. So I don't want to spoil the party, but yeah, that was definitely one of my favorite scenes.
That was good. And, you know, the bar fight.
Right.
I loved how he's a lover, not a fighter, and he tries so hard not to, he just, you know, I'm going to walk away. He tried. And so you did so much that just redeemed him, that even though he goes from woman to woman his whole life, he's such a good guy deep down. It's hard not to be rooting for him.
Right. And I love the women in his family when he overhears them talking about him.
Uh-huh.
You know, because they love him, but they just know he's a tomcat.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and his reaction to that, it was kind of like, oh, I had a moment where I'm just, Tom, oh, for him. I don't want to spoil anything, but okay. Last thing before I go on to the questions that some lovely readers had. I just want to say I loved how the prologue tied in, because I don't know, usually I'm not so dense, but I read the prologue and I'm, oh, okay, this is interesting. I wonder who the woman is. And then I kept reading, and then how it ties back in and you bring it back around. I guess for some reason I was thinking that scene had come and passed already. And then when it hits again, I'm all, oh, this is so cool. Okay, this makes sense now. So I love that tie-in for that.
I usually don't do prologues, but I wanted something to catch readers and to give them a sense that, he's not really a great guy when it comes to women. So I'm happy that it worked.
Yeah, it really did. Okay. Quinn asked, which character you most enjoyed writing?
In this book or in general?
It doesn't specify, so I'm going to assume in general.
Okay. It's hard to go back. Right now my first answer would be Tom Cat, because he really was fun to write, and I feel like this book has more humor, or has the most humor in all my books, just because he's ridiculous. So it was really fun to write him and put him in situations to make him uncomfortable, which I did a lot. And I really feel like it was in Tomcat, the voice of Diane, I really feel like it's kind of my voice. It's my way of kind of inserting opinions about Tom into the book. I think she's got a couple really good lines. So it was fun to write more of her too. And of course, John Day. I love him.
It's great to have those little bits brought back in from falling in love with him and Ready to Fall.
Yeah.
Okay, Shanpreet ask, where did the idea for this book come from and the title?
Well, his nickname in Ready to Fall is Tomcat, and John calls him a Tomcat. So the idea came from readers saying, we want to see Tom Donnelly fall in love. And I usually have wacky working titles, such as Gooey Ducks Are for Lovers, which was supposed to just be my Nano title and ended up being my book title. And I knew, the point of the book would be to reform Tom. So it just ended up being Confessions of a Reformed Tomcat. And as I was writing and finishing the first draft, I thought, each chapter should have a confession of his. So he has some sort of declaration or confession at the beginning of each chapter, and oftentimes he's completely wrong. Whatever his statement is about absolutes, he's generally either wrong in that chapter or later in the book.
Oh, okay.
So that's where it came from and ended up being part of the book.
Worked out really well, I think.
Thanks.
Ruth asks, what influences your writing?
I'd have to say classic rom-com movies. I usually go back and write or watch, Notting Hill and for Gooey Ducks Are for Lovers, it was a lot of Reality Bites. I rewatched The Big Chill. This one is less movie influenced. Missionary Position definitely has aspects of Out of Africa in it. Ready to Fall has Officer and a Gentleman. Tomcat is less so, but I would definitely say classic rom-com movies.
Okay. And, there is that at the Halloween scene where you pull in the movie references there.
Right. There's 2 movie references on Halloween. One is Heather's, which is one of my favorites. And, that's one of my favorite scenes in the book, as I already said. And somebody said, because Tom's a welder, that Flashdance, they asked if Flashdance was a reference. And I did watch it recently. It's still a pretty good movie. But there's no bucket full of water dancing moment.
But there is ice water.
There is ice water. Yeah.
Okay. Heather is curious. She wants to know, what books do you reread whenever you need to have a for sure good read? So the books that you go back to reread.
I haven't been doing a lot of rereading lately. I usually, up until about 2 years ago, would do a reread of The Great Gatsby every year. It's my favorite book. It's incredibly short, but amazing writing, and so I definitely would say that. What else? I have so little time to read lately, but like I've been reading The Hooker and the Hermit by Penny Reid and L.H. Causeway for, I want to say, like 3 weeks. It's taking me forever to get through it because I just don't have time to sit down and read it, although I love it.
Yeah.
So when I'm not writing, I tend to read more rom-com. And when I am writing, I tend to not read anything that might be too similar, so I read YA. I would say that I have reread Anna and the French Kiss and all of Stephanie Perkins' books.
Okay.
She writes really swoony YA books, and I love the way she like builds up the falling in love.
Oh, I'll have to check her
out. You know,
out.
they're about teenagers. I'm far from being a teenager. There's just something in her writing that really evokes those feelings. So,
yeah, I'll definitely have to check her out. I haven't read any of her books before.
Oh, they're so good. My favorite, I think, is Lola and the Boy Next Door with Lola and Cricket. Oh. She has 3 in the series, and they're all so good. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely have to check those out. I have several more questions, but we're already at 11 and a half minutes.
Oh.
This sucks. I hate.
You can do speed fire. I'll just answer one word.
Are any of your characters based off of a real person?
Yes, but no one person fits one character.
Okay. Any chance a little lumberjack babies from John and Diane, Tom Cat could be their godfather?
Maybe. I've only written one baby in my books so far, which is Lizzie, who is Quinn and Dr. Gooding's son or daughter. Daughter. Yeah, maybe. I think so.
And do you have anything else in the works now?
I have a couple projects on my to-do list, but I haven't dove into anything yet. Okay. I'm hoping to expand Bewitched for fall.
Oh, I just got so excited.
So we'll see. I need to get writing on that.
Oh, yes, you do.
I can't believe I called Lizzie a boy. Oh my goodness. Blame the cold meds.
Yeah. No, it's all good. I would have done the same thing. I switch up genders and people all the time. Well, Daisy, thank you so much for letting me pick your brain and find out a little bit more about Tom Cat and everything. And I can't wait for people to read his story. I think they're going to fall in love with him.
Aw, thank you so much for reading and loving him.
Thank you. Bye.